Hey, all you Splinterheads, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Bronze Dragon here with a thought process on starting off land in 1.5. Yes, I'm guilty of buying another land plot this morning. I found one in Tostrington 114 and bought it off Nate for what I considered a pretty good deal. But with that said, when I was in the middle of buying it, I'm like, you know what? Land's coming up here pretty soon. And the first step is really, other than deciding what cards you're going to stake on the land, one of the first steps in getting up and running is going to be clearing the land. And while your staked cards are clearing the land, they are not producing anything. So while they're working the land to clear it, you're going to have to be feeding them. Okay, I addressed this in a much broader perspective in another video, which I'll leave a link below, but that was a month or two ago. And things have changed, numbers have changed and everything. But what I did was I went in and I used the figures that the team released in the land white paper, because I wanted to get an idea of what I was going to have to come up with to be able to feed my staked cards, my staked monsters, while they're clearing the land. Because, like I said, while they're clearing their land, they're not producing anything. Once they get the land cleared and they can start producing grain on some of them, then these figures really don't apply, because it's going to be malleable. You can produce food on some land. Like I've talked about before, I have my lands matched up, so I have a land producing food, and hopefully I can kind of balance it out so one can produce food, one can produce something else. Anyway, just like at the beginning stages before the food market gets up and running, I'm sure that after everybody gets up and running and starts producing grain, the price of grain is going to go way down. But let's take a look. And I know this is small, but I wanted you to see that I have all 6 of my lands figured out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And for the most part, this is the spreadsheet I've been keeping my information as far as staked monsters. If you've been following me, you know my standard plan is to stake max level gold foil commons. And I've been buying them up, usually like the cheapest ones, within the 5 lowest price ones. But I'm trying not to double up too much. I'm trying to get a good selection, so if I want to use it for other purposes, I can as well. But let's go ahead and take a look. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. It should be a little bit easier to read. So what I first started out with is figuring out how many production points I have on each land. And now we're not going to be talking about bonuses, because one thing I will note, and if you look in the white paper, the production bonuses don't apply to grain consumed on a daily basis or on an hourly basis. Okay, and the main thing I'm talking about right now is how much it's going to cost to feed those monsters while they clear your land. Now, everybody's numbers is going to be a little bit different depending upon what monsters you have staked on the land, whether they're max level, mid level, whatever. They're all different numbers. All the applicable formulas are in the white paper, so check that out. You can do the math. It's relatively easy math. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So what you'll note is, due to my strategy, most of my lands have the same production power, 10,000, because a max level gold foil common is 2,000 times 5 is 10,000. Now, one of my lands, I have a max level rare beta standard foil, okay? And that's why the math is a little bit different. So everything else is pretty much the same. Now let's go through and look at what in a standard common natural land is going to take me to clear. Okay. First of all, we'll start off with 10,000 production points. That's 10,000 production points per hour. That extrapolates to 240,000 production points per day. Okay. Now, a common plot takes 1,500,000 production points to clear total. Okay. Now, with this math and with the cards I have staked, it's going to take 150 hours to clear the plot, or 6.25 days. Using the math for how much grain or food is consumed per monster per production point. This equals 100 grain or 100 food per hour, which equals 2,400 per day. Okay. Total up. Now this is the total food cost to clear subtotal. Okay. So this land, feeding the monsters for 6.25 days, is going to cost me 15,000 DEC per common land. So you can see that I have 4 common lands. Okay. Well, I have 5 common lands, but one of them's magic. So that figures a little bit differently. Now, let's go back over here. Now, this column, column C, is a magic rare. Okay. So I have a total of 13,500 production points on this land from the cards. That's 4 max level gold foil commons and 1 max level standard foil rare beta. Sorry, it took me a minute. I'm remembering. I want to get the numbers correct here. So that is 3,500 production points per hour, or 324,000 per day. The plot clear production point value on a magic rare is 4,950,000 production points. That's going to take me, with my current monsters, 367 hours or 15.28 days. So a little bit more than 15.25 days. At 135 food or grain per hour, 3,240 grain per day. So, and as was noted in the white paper, until the food market gets up and running, which while we're clearing initially, there will not be a food market up and running. You have to buy it off the market at 1 DEC per grain. So this one works out to 3,240 grain per day, which gives a subtotal of 49,508 DEC. Okay, that's total. It's going to cost me over almost 50,000 DEC to clear that land for a little bit more than 15 days. And I won't go back over the commons because they're the same, but we will scroll over here to another type of, a different type of land here. Now this is magic and this is common. So once again, it still has the 10,000, the 240,000. It works out to 450 hours to clear, which is 18.75 days at the same rate. Total up 45,000 DEC to clear. That's just the food cost. That's no other cost around that. Okay, we're just talking sheer food cost at the very beginning. Now, total up for me, grand total, just under 155,000 DEC. Okay, and if you do it at current math, DEC is sitting today right below 80 cents per 1,000. It's about 125 US dollars, give or take. Okay, so I'm going over this math just to make you aware, if you're not, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are more concerned about the cards or more concerned about getting the DEC to stake. And there's several peripheral items to be concerned with to be prepared. But I wanted to go ahead and do this math and show you just in my case, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are kind of very similar, but you got to do the math for your own situation. Now, keep in mind that the food, let's go ahead and take this out of the way and go to this. If you go to, and I'll leave the link for this if you don't have it in the show notes, but you will note that the food, the bonus values you may get from other things, such as a Rooney, or such as from a bonus from your land being magic, or a totem or something like that, does not apply to how much food is consumed. The only thing that applies is the base math of how many base production points those monsters have. So the spirit of this was me, first of all, just trying to figure out how much more I had to get in my bag. Okay. because, as we all know, there's some other extraneous costs here. So this has been Bronze Dragon, just trying to help you out, help you get prepared. If you're not a landholder, this might not interest you. If you are a landholder, I hope you hope this helps you out. If you're thinking about buying land, I'm not going to tell you either way because who knows what land could do in the future. But this will at least show you another cost that's associated. Now, I will say that once that first portion of period of time elapses and a lot of people have their land cleared and a lot of people start producing grain and putting it onto the market, then the price is going to fluctuate, and more than likely it's going to go down. So the prices I'm talking about are just for the initial period. But I wanted to get an idea of what it was going to take. So I hope it helps you out. This has been Bronze Dragon. I hope you all on your side are happy and healthy, and I will see you on the flip side.